Hey everyone, welcome. In this video, I'm going to take you through some of the work I've done to get the crossing finished up. This is basically step 3 in this long process of building a crossing that is O-scale standard and ON30. I've hand laid all the track. I hand laid the rails, the ties, soldered, put it all together. This is for a modeling the Dinky. It's a Chicago Northwestern narrow gauge in southwest Wisconsin that operated late 1880s into the mid 1920s. So what I'm modeling around 1920, and it ran basically from Woodman to Fenimore, 13 miles or so. Oh, in case we haven't met, my name is Mike, and this is Mike's Model Trains. So welcome, glad you're here. Thanks for coming along, and let's get to it. I made the mistake in the beginning of attaching the feeder wires to the crossing before I did the installation. And what I should have done was I should have installed it and then of course drill them and then bring up the feeder wires and solder them to the bottom of the rail. But I didn't do that. No mistake. So what I did was I messed around with different ways of marking where the wires are. I ended up using nails, finished nails, marking, so now I can come in and drill the holes out where I need. I have 2-inch foam, and then under that is it's like a 1/2 inch plywood, I think. This worked fairly good. I don't know. I still wasn't happy with the way I did it. I should have do it again. I'll do it different. Now what I'm doing is I'm marking the center line of the rail. I'll mark 2 spots so that I can extend this line through the crossing. I get a nice straight line. Just connect the dots. I have my center line. Because I had put the, I really extended this line of track a little too close to the crossing, and then the crossing was pretty much a given. I couldn't move it because of the turnouts and the ON30 track. So what I did was I had to go back in and pull up some of the ties and redo this curve a little bit so it ended up coming in nice and easy into the straight line. So time to put down the ties, the new ties, so I get my gauge tie template out, and I have this set up to space the ties apart for O-scale standard gauge. And what I did is I just used some scrap balsam wood in between the ties, And then if I needed to kind of shave a little bit, I could cut them down pretty easily, a little better than trying to do some strip wood or something. So it also works pretty good. And then kind of cleaned out some ties fit in there and give me a little bit of variability. 1920 ties weren't perfect, but if I try to put the variability to make it look like they're not straight, they'll end up looking really bad. So I try to do straight, and then they'll end up crooked anyway. But so you just get them put down, and I use some blue painter's tape, pull them up, and then I can lay them down. And it's real easy to do a curve. Kind of put down. I just use some wood glue, yellow wood glue. Smooth it out. This is on the outside of the track, or the outside of the crossing. As it goes, that main line behind it goes back to a staging yard. Or on the layout, it would go from Woodman, it would go through Prairie du Chien up into Minneapolis, St. Paul, into the cities. Across the Mississippi River, Prairie du Chien. And then you can just lay the ties down, smooth them out. Besides having a center line for the rail, I also have the edging for the ties marked, so I can line them up and I know where. Because the tape will cover the center line. I can use that. And then here I have some lead weights I can put down and hold it overnight. So there's the final weight. And here I am the next day. I let this sit overnight so it can dry. And the next day I can pull up the weights. Let's see how this fits. Good test fit here. It fits pretty good. You can leave it. Although I ended up with the ties, I wasn't happy with the alignment on the ties coming out of the crossing. Or it went to the main line back there. I wasn't happy with the way those lined up with the crossing, so I had to redo those. Then what I do is I come along and use an X-Acto blade and I round over the edges and carve them up, kind of put some distress so they aren't perfectly square. In 1920 they'd have been a little more rounded, a little rougher shape. So I go through and I kind of round them over and score and cut, make them a little less perfect. So once that's all kind of, you can see all the scraps of cuttings I have. And when I clean them off, I'll cut them, round them over. And the next thing I'll do is I'll come in with some sandpaper. Put sand in the edges and stuff like that, round it over, level them off a little bit. Then I come in with a razor saw. I have a rough cut razor saw, and I put some wood grain. These are basically timber, they're not really machines, you know, like they are milled ties. So I'm going to give this crossing some primer, kind of give it a base. I'm going to start out with using, first I'll put on this flat earth Rust-Oleum camouflage. Give that a cover everything, and then I'll come back in and detail the paint up. One thing I don't like about these, with this PC board, cross ties like this, I think it's hard to get it to match up to like real wood, to get it to look. I've done a couple of them and I'm not real happy with the results, but I'll, you can see here, I got, so these are PC ties, so I'm just not real happy with that, but we'll give this a shot and we'll work from there. Do this out in my garage. Can't do it outside today, it's only 30 degrees. Kind of raining. Down to the train room where I use the old isopropyl alcohol and Indian ink, kind of stain the ties. I don't know what the ratio is. I mix this out. I just kind of do it so it gets dark, and then you kind of dump them together. So it does seem to lighten up over time after a few months, but I just stain them, and I'll come back in once I get my tie, or once I get my rails spiked down, and then when I do my ballasting and stuff, I'll come in and I'll do a little more weathering, and I'll kind of put some gray color in there and different stuff to make it look a little more variability in the weathering, so they're not so dark. Well, I finally have the crossing installed. The rails spiked coming up to it. Change from code 148 to code 100 rail. 2 turnouts, 1 on each side. I've got it temporarily wired right now. I'm gonna be doing some block control, because if I do a 1 cab, single cab, just DC, I'll do a 1 cab control, and I'll wire those up, that turnout and that done. When I put the fascia on, I put a new fascia on here and I can do my block control on here. Also then I'll be installing Blue Point turnout controls. I've got enough for this section of the railroad. They're out of business now, I guess, so not getting them anymore. I think when I get over to the other side over there to Woodman, to Fenimore, I'll be doing probably Fast Tracks has some that look pretty good, so I'll be giving those a try. This was a real challenging build for me. Not something I've done before. I did this project to improve my skill set, try and make myself a little better, I did this project to try and improve, try to get better at track laying and track building. Track is a part of the model too. So one of the things that I think we do when we do model railroading is we try to improve all the time. We're always trying to expand our skills and try to get better. Everything we do, every time we do it, we redo it. I don't know how many railroads, how many layouts I've done and started and tore up and redone, move houses, whatever. But in the end, you just keep trying to get better and you just keep working at it. Don't give up. That'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming along. I'm glad you're here. Appreciate it. And then stay tuned for the next one. Oh, I'll put a link down below for the other videos for the other. I think there's 3 other videos for this section here, this crossing. So I'll put a link down below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. In the meantime, don't cause no trouble.